Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's map number 3 coming up here between Tyloo and NiP at the CSGO Asia Championships 2018. We're at the quarterfinals, and yeah, it was a really, really close and exciting first map. Second map was NiP's home ground on Overpass, and they absolutely knocked it out the park. Now, we're going to go to I think, a much more interesting map between these two teams, which is going to be Cash.
Oh yeah, this should be a much more even contest. And if anything, you might actually slightly tip it to the favor of Tyloo. Because Cash, okay, we've seen NiP in the past play Cash tons. That's not really been the story for recent time. That they've, it's been more and more one of the maps that they stay off of, even if it necessarily hasn't been an insta-veto at any single point or an insta-ban. But it's definitely been a map that they never pick and rarely leave in as a third one once the veto process is done. So I'm really curious just to see how this is going to pan out. They've played twice on this map the last 3 months, and that was just envious in both scenarios. Tyloo, obviously, a very different story. They played a ton. Mixed results as well, even within the SCA region. But again, it's going to come down to familiarity with the map, and there's definitely no familiarity for NiP with Cash, especially with his new lineup.
Yeah, and I think we get to see an interesting part of the Tyloo story evolve here, because obviously they were super hyped winning the first map. Yeah. They really got beat up badly on the second map. So the question is, can they recover for a third map? Again, we talked, Duncan brought this up on the desk earlier, that they're not that used to playing in front of a big crowd, and now it's a home crowd as well. So this is it's going to require a lot of energy. It already will have required a lot of energy to get to this stage. Can they keep it up? Can they revive themselves here for the third map?
Yeah, and can they fight back?
We'll find out.
GetRight's favorite cat video is Piano Cat. It's not a bad choice.
Piano Cat. Listen, I haven't.
It's a solid one. It's a classic.
I haven't got to the stage where I have like favorite cat videos.
You just enjoy them all.
No, I actually am not on the internet cat train at all.
That's a way to make a lot of enemies on the internet.
I realize. Listen,
might not want to disclose that kind of information.
It's very dangerous. As is this push coming up the highway, rushing through, and Dennis picking up the first pistol kill there, taking down somebody. They're planting in front of the bombs. This is so cool for NiP. Almost, no, they actually give up. No, they do get the bomb down. That's out in the open. That defuse is going to be almost impossible for Tyloo. As long as there's a couple of NiP players left, it's going to be difficult. DD will take down Lecro. But again, the position of that bomb might get very, very interesting. Forest now creeping up again. Look, it's way out in the open. They're exposed from every angle. Forest going to take one big kill there on DD. And Tyloo have got to be wondering, just what are we supposed to do? Like, we've never played with a bomb in this position. It's a 10-second defuse as well. They're trying to cover from everywhere. But
it's going to have to be Operation Human Shield.
Oh, they're actually holding it. They managed to get the Human Shield in. Tyloo picking it up. That's so hard to improvise on the spot.
We kind of got to see it all. Actually, I think we saw this on the first day as well when Tyloo played Mirage. Or maybe it was Vici. I think it was versus Na'Vi. Yeah. They played it, and it's like you're stuck in a situation where...
Well, that was like a 1 versus 2 or something where he...
Yeah, you had to drop the smoke, and it's like you just have to try to get in front of him to soften up the bullets. And it works. We got to see Bardolph plant there as well. If you've ever played Cash on matchmaking with Bardolph, or on any other service for that matter, he will literally try to go for that plant regardless of how clear the A-pop side is.
God bless us all.
Yeah. And it doesn't pan out for NiP, but really cool ID. And I mean, you would have imagined. I'm actually surprised that Forest went down, not as easily, but that it went down actually just at all.
I mean, that's the power of that plant, is obviously, even in a 3 versus 1, like even if there are 3 CTs left and just 1 terrace player, you can still lose that round in a split second, just because of the angles. If you don't know where the last player is, they could be anywhere. One quick peek, even with a Glock, it could be dangerous. It's a really, really good idea. Oh, heads up play there for Rez on the other side. Probably would have walked right into that.
I think actually NiP sometimes started to spam spam at the walls, right?
Yeah. As
the player on top of the boost was dropping down, so I think that's just like to cover his sound, and subsequently it kind of worked out in the sense that somebody tried to push into it and into a Rez that was already kind of pre-firing the angle.
We'll see how this works out. Again, they're up the highway. This is dangerous. I mean, from Tyloo's point of view, maybe it's fine for some of these rounds, but you can't really consistently give up highway control. That's such a central part of the map. It's almost analogous to on Inferno when they give up quad. You really can't be doing that for a long time. Excurate has done a lot of damage to the people crossing into the bomb site, and Forrest and Dennis, my god, the pistol headshots are just overwhelming at this point. They're going to lose Excurate as well. Finally, somebody takes a kill on Get Right. It's still a 2-on-3 here. With the bomb down, let's see if they can retake this smoothly. One has been spotted out, and that's an easy enough kill to pick up. So just Lekro left, and unfortunately with a clock. So big win for Tyloo, even though it got too scary.
A little bit hairy there. I mean, I actually really like the idea, though. You see so many teams having struggles holding the kind of default A setup, right? When you're going against a bot-up, a 4-spot team, especially if they have a couple of nades and whatnot. You could just very easily get mowed down, and then you have no way of actually just either maintaining or, I guess, denying the T side after plant positions and whatnot. And with the aggressive push into A main, obviously you're going to be able to stop anything coming through A main. And even though it doesn't get kills, does significant damage on the people coming up from Squeaky Door as well. But you're always like a constant presence to the point where it makes the rotation for the people over from mid and B a whole lot easier to be a part of the action. So yeah, no, it does get a little bit hairy off of some well-placed deagle shots from Forrest and Dennis, but I like the approach from Tyloo. It does feel kind of safe, even though it's volatile. I like it better seeing than the classic just default setup on the side, because you can so easily get caught out.
Ooh. Standing inside of the fire is Bentet. He made that around the corner. I don't know if Dennis spotted him.
Spotted, but Bentet didn't even use, or he didn't have a smoke, I guess, at the time.
More grenades. He's not enjoying life in any way whatsoever right now. Coming back out of middle, having taken 72 damage, and he's going to have to find a new home somewhere else. I guess the problem with having the default setup on that A-bomb side sometimes is, if you're playing like against C-sets or something, is if they get close around that red container, yeah, you just get run down. So it's very true indeed. This time somebody and Bentet have both gone down. NiP here on their first rifle round. They did so much damage earlier in the rounds that if they lose this round, Tyloo, they're not going to have very much money to rebuy, if any at all. So this is looking great for NiP. Winning every single... Oh my god, just walking onto the bomb side and taking down DD. That's the kind of res that I've almost become used to seeing at this point, which is kind of scary. Like, he's just a very good player. Yeah. But even just between... This is how crazy this NiP team could be if it keeps working. Even between Rez and Lekro, if they have good games, you have to be like, oh, that could be a bit uncomfortable to play against. Like, that's a little bit of firepower there.
Now you add Lekro into the mix and the fact that Forrest is playing like he used to.
Yeah, you got Forrest in there as well. Then you almost don't need Dennis and Get Right to be superstars, you know?
Yeah.
You can just have them be stable players. You could just have them do some of the groundwork, and it'll still be a pretty good team.
And I'm actually, I mean, you imagine like a player like Get Right's always been such a hard worker and always been able to maintain such a good form for, you know, a decade.
Yeah.
That even though he's having a pretty significant slump, probably the worst slump of his career, even if you include 1.6 as well.
Yeah.
Like, you'd imagine a player of his caliber will be able to find or regain form at some point, right? And
yes,
this NiP team is already competitive without him necessarily doing too well.
Yeah, I actually am quite certain that will happen. Like, especially because if I look at some of the other players that I have sort of at times mentally written off in a way. Yeah. I mean, I would say Modi, Doja are some of the ones that pop into my mind where I think, nah, it's done.
They've had their time.
Yeah, they've had the time. It's too late now. And suddenly they're right back and playing really well. I think it's just it's actually, in some ways, it's one of the most interesting features of Counter-Strike is if you follow someone for a long time, you sort of get that up and down scenario throughout their career. That can be super fun to follow.
Yeah.
Great opening here as they do get the kill on Dennis somehow. And a really nice push into Squeak Door there with somebody taking down Rez. So suddenly 2 opening kills out of nowhere.
And they still have a scout that can do a lot of tag damage here on their side as well. DD has been softened up, but hasn't been forced out of position yet, hasn't given up where he's at. So it's still something that NiP can't forget about if they want to go towards the B bomb side. But right now they seem very undecided as to what they want to do. Forrest moving up towards mid, and again, it's very easy to get caught off guard here. There we go.
Slow strange with the C set. The crowd is loving it. Bentet will go down, but Lekro and Get right now. 40 seconds. The bomb making its way towards the B side, but one mistake here is going to cost them the round. Just one slip up, get right in the corner, not ready for the angle. He's going to get shot in the back. And DD surviving the earlier grenades right into the end of the round here. Still having a presence. 20 seconds. They need to remember about the bomb plant here. They can't be too eager in fighting Lekro before the plant actually goes down. He's going to try and do it once and no fakes happening. Just straight puts it down. They're going to push in. Lekro getting one. He's so good. Out of bullets though. Now the Glock comes out. Somebody on the other side. And Lekro swaps out, jumps up with the M4. 10 health left. This is very scary. There's plenty of time at the bomb, but Lekro's still going to win the fight. Another quad kill for him. He's done it so many times for NiP in this best of 3.
Yeah, Lekro really feels like and it's Sweet's answer really to Excurate.
Yeah.
We've seen so many clutches coming out of him, and whenever he's called upon, Lekro steps up to the plate. That's a massive round to win. I was looking so good for Tyloo.
Peter's absolutely loving it, isn't he?
It's one of those things where as a coach you feel just like very, very happy and blessed because that's not something you can coach.
No, obviously not. So the fact that, I mean, if Tyloo had won that round, that could have been one of those rounds that has a very, very big impact on the eventual score of the game.
Oh, yeah.
That's supposed to be kind of a close to free round for NiP, and the fact that they almost lost it, man, yeah, it could have been quite bad. Now they're treated to a much easier round where there's really almost no pistols in play, and yeah, they're just going to get shut down in this one. So close call, I would say, for NiP.
Yeah, we could have been looking at a quick scenario where it ends up being 4-2 in favor of Tyloo, and now it's more likely that it's going to be going in the opposite direction. I'd say that there's still a chance for Tyloo to buy up following this round. You see 2.7 on Bentet, DD, and Excurate, somebody at 2.1, so he's still going to be able to get a buy-in. It's a little bit worse off for wear for Azo, what he's going to be able to do. And this is also another thing to really keep an eye on, the fact that AE had a really, really rough map versus VP on Cash. He's not able to assert himself at all. You know, as we saw that series unfold, and that's definitely, that could have been the thing that tipped them over the edge, really, because they eventually lost in overtime, but they had a massive lead. They had so many opportunities to close out the game. And having just him being able to contribute a little bit more would have gone a long way. So it's going to have to be seen if they want to go to that double op setup, which they tended to go to versus VP quite a bit, or if they're just content with, doing exactly this, which is buying up with one op on Excurate and a rifle on AE. I think this is probably the way to go, even though we did see AE have a much better showing on Inferno as well. It wasn't necessarily only with the off. He was able to get kills with the M4 as well.
Well, we'll see how it all folds out now. Just a quick smoke in the middle. It looks like a double boost. How quick are they going to be? They're very, very fast into the middle. Bentet does pick up both of them, so that's a very hard denial in the middle, just shutting down that part of the NiP push. I do love the idea of like a really, really fast double push, because that can really catch people off guard, but Bentet was somehow ready for it. Get right, sneaking in. He's going to have the timing. I think A was turned around in case there was a flashbang, but really good follow-up, good trade kill coming through. And this should be the complete reset here for Tyloo. Like, they've got everything they need to win this round. They just need to focus on really not losing anybody.
Yeah, limiting their losses at this point. And obviously that's the game plan. That's the name of the game for Forrest and Rez as well. They just want to get a couple of kills here. If they can get a bomb plant, great, but it's not necessary for them to actually be able to rebuy into the following round. They just want to make sure that Tyloo has a tough as time as possible to purchase up, especially getting that op out of the hands of Excurate, because he doesn't even have armor.
I think there was a decision just being talked about in NiP that, like, do we throw the Molotovs or do we just go without any warning? And I think the no warning part's probably the better idea, because then you can, like, get one free kill before the rotation happens.
Yeah.
They might have been spotted, though. Some counter grenades are coming out. Another flashbang in here. 30 seconds left, and very hard for NiP to make their way through. It's going to be a trade right after Rez taking down DD. And now 25 seconds again. Even a bomb plant right now would be quite good. Rez hoping that someone peeks him, and Excurate's going to take him up on that. It was fun to see. You could sort of they didn't even shoot out the window, but they sort of realized, well,
if we do this, it's going to be so much harder to actually get on the bomb site.
Exactly right. If they have any counter grenades, then we're screwed. We're screwed. Well, 3-3 the scoreline, and Tyloo, in spite of losing a little bit, they're back in action now.
Yeah, much needed one as well. They're still not out of the woods. They need to be able to get consecutive rounds on the board. We're going to see an op coming out on NiP side as well. It's going to be Forrest this time to wield it. But yeah, that one thing that I think Tyloo actually are pretty, you mentioned the fact that doing a quick double boost on top of mid is a way of catching people off guard. One thing that Tyloo showed that they were very ready for, at least versus VP as well, was that double boost. Benton is extremely good at playing that sandbag area.
Yeah.
Even if there is like Molotovs coming down, etc., really quick to respond with smokes to put it out and still be effective in the limited angles that he has. NiP, though, not going to mess around mid this time. They're going to go straight towards A, and we've seen somebody do this with smokes so many times.
Right next to the door, the spray comes right on top of his head, but something must have shown. He definitely knew about that. Xcrit still picked up 2 kills, so it's not the end of the world, but they've made it onto the site. The bomb is not crossed yet. It's still in main, which might be very confusing with Tyloo at this point in time. Thinking the bomb site's lost, but that bomb plant's really delayed. There is a flank coming in. I think DD is the one making his way all the way around through main. So if he can win that fight, that would be the beginning of a good retake. But if not, it might be actually time to call it a save. They're just waiting for him. He's going all the way around through the squeak door. This is going to take quite a while. They do have a couple of kits in play, but they've got pretty much one shot at doing this. A little bit of attention being drawn away here. The door's going to be open. DD spraying for a long time, picking it up, and now it's all on Get Right. 1 versus 2. Going to go around the corner, but DD will pick him up. He's the one without the kit, though, so
Oh, it should be fine.
I think he might have. Yeah, he does have it, but that's still very, very close.
Well, they do like to play with fire. Yep. It wouldn't be a Tyloo game if there's not tense moments.
I mean, that spray from DD took such a long time.
Oh, yeah. And then you just see it unfolding in the incorrect way, like as he just lays down bullets onto Forrest. I think luckily for him, Forrest was preoccupied with the player coming from CT spawn.
Yeah, he was very worried about that. And the return from Xcrit to be able to pick up a couple of kills at the triple in that round, I believe. A bit unfortunate for Get Right. Like, he was in an almost impossible situation in being in that corner, you know?
Yeah. Definitely not the optimal. Well, he was expecting the wraparound from DD to come through main, as we did initially as well.
Dennis going down in the middle again. Bentet able to hold his own in there.
Not taking too much damage either. This time it's Lecro in the off. We're going to miss that shot, and that gives away the surprise of the off at least. Maybe they'll swap it over as well, seeing how Forrest is on 36 HP. Not for now, though. Out into mid we go. Only Get Right really committing to it. Has Lecro as a bit of a backup. Rez over by doors. This is where Rez is going to spend most of his time really on the T side. Be a constant nuisance. And he does so pretty well most of the time.
Rez setting up for a bit of a smoke. Just to put a bit of pressure on. Some damage being put into the middle player. Somebody there. Get Right actually going to hunt him through that.
Oh, I don't think somebody spotted his feet either. No. Probably relayed that information. He's going to stick around, though. Not giving up the B-bomb site completely yet. That makes sense. They don't have mid control. Very easy for NiP to potentially set up a B-split. They're getting chipped down here, though.
Get Right. He wanted to find the timing in the middle, and if he had, that would have isolated all of the players on A from anybody else.
Oh,
missed shot from Lecro. That had to be a kill right away. He's going to go down in return, and Rez really wants to peek this angle, but there's going to be backup. Great team play coming out from Bentet. Getting the early kill in the round, but then saving Xcrit, who was in that corner. And that's going to be 5-3, but worse still, NiP can't buy any more rifles.
Yeah, they're broke. The start off, it feels like forever ago since Bentet found that opening frag in mid. And if you were just allowed to sneak so close, like up highway, and you talked about this could be a real worry for Tyloo later on in the game. The fact that they're so willing to give up highway control without any real contest, and it works out that time. But that's off the back of Lecro missing 2 pretty easy shots.
Yeah, I really feel like that's something that I mean, it's the same, like we talked about this, the same problem that they had on Inferno on quad on A side.
Yeah.
If you let the other team get that close to a bomb site, might not always work out in your favor. Beautiful headshot from Lecro, though, to take down Xcrit, so...
Does have a thing for the Deagle, doesn't he?
Yes, always has.
Some pot shots being thrown. Oh, somebody's taking a lot of damage, actually, through main there, down to under half HP. So the benefit is that 3 of the NiP players are really, really low on health. There's no weapon picked up either, so they have been able to remove one weapon from Excurate, but that's so far back in A main. But right now, Tyloo are running more of a default setup on that A bomb set, and I'm not too big of a fan of what they're doing right now. I think that this could get very easily punished, and well, already one man down.
And a low on health, at least some of them. Like Rez is still low as well, so Bentet trapped in a corner. This is not how you. I mean, it's very hard. There's nothing he'd almost do. If he goes for the peak, he probably dies. If he stays, he's probably gonna die. That was a shot from Forest, taking down DD. That's so important. They don't have any armor again, remember, so to get these really quick fights is really critical. A gonna put in a flashbang and hoping that he could scare somebody into over-peaking one of the angles, but this is very tricky, and he's gonna get caught by Forest, sees it coming. Brilliant round for NiP, and I mean, one of those rounds when Tyloo look back at this game, if they end up losing it, they're going to look at a round like this and think, oh, man.
Like, why did we do that? Because, again, you're one man down. That's fine. You know already that NiP doesn't have any real investment into it. So you're perfectly fine of playing passively. Instead of taking that off for an aggressive peek into A main, I mean, sure, you want to get information, but I think you're perfectly fine playing that way more passively, considering you know the weaponry of NiP. They're going to have a real hard time getting onto a bomb site with limited utility and whatnot. So play that off from the back of quad boxes. You have Bent already on site. You're way more likely to get favorable trades for yourself. And also, like, allowed for you to stay alive, have rotations come in, and clean up a potential after plan. If you give NiP the bomb plant, that's fine. They're going to be able to buy up in the next round anyway with the bomb plant. So you're not losing a whole lot. Instead, they throw A, as you said, like a round that should be theirs. And that's something that's going to haunt them if they're not able to sort this out.
Yeah, they lose a round, which gives NiP rifles. They themselves have to play with very limited equipment. And this round starts with Get Right taking down A through the smoke, I think, over at B. So that's just never a fun time at all.
It's added agony to the Tyloo side. I guess one thing we can keep in mind is the fact that Tyloo did have a way more impressive T side on this map than a CT side. They ended up getting 5 rounds in total versus VP on their CT side. Already met that mark, but considering where they found themselves, you would have liked them to be at 6 or 7 instead.
Yeah, and I think in general, I'm not too worried about people not getting a lot of rounds on CT side cash. I think that happens on a regular basis, and people still end up sort of making comebacks. This is not the best beginning of this round, though. DD also going to be going down. Big double opening for Get Right. Excurate already being spammed slightly, and he only has FMR, so very hard to get multiple kills here. And they're going to realize as well, heads-up play from Forest. He was the last man in with the AWP out, so difficult for him to get that kill on the guy in the corner. But nobody's gone down for NiP, so this is perfect round for them right now.
Yeah, it's just what they needed. Excurate. Kind of unfortunate. I mean, he plays it smart by not firing back when it gets spammed through. That's very easy to fall for the temptation of firing back and hoping to get an easy kill through the smoke. But again, that just gives away your position. You're extremely limited. It's very easy for the T's to find an angle to clear out that spot without necessarily seeing you either.
Oh,
somebody.
He actually cheeky. Yeah, he actually. I think Lekra turned around for his teammate's flashbang, but then it didn't work out.
See what Nifty can do from that angle versus Tyloo. Somebody wants to return the favor. Not going to be able to connect onto Dennis, though.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
5-5, scoreline all tied up. But economy most certainly not even in any way. So, see what happens now. I think Tyloo are going to be just fine if they can get like 2 more rounds in. That would be great. Yeah. And I think we've got still a very interesting game on our hands.
Yeah, and can't really count Tyloo out of it. Maybe for this round, but again, once they have weapons, they definitely show that they're capable of going head-to-head with NiP. Mid control, again, going to be vacated. Only Bentet playing extremely passively, but understandable considering the firepower they have in their hands. And I guess one thing that's different from the approach that NiP has this T-side versus Tyloo and what we saw VP do is VP were very happy to go towards that B bomb site where AE was struggling a lot and they couldn't necessarily find too much going for them. NiP on their end, they've been happy to take mid control, eventually closing in on that A bomb site.
Yeah, it's a bit more diverse, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're
giving themselves more opportunity, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah.
For right now, though, one of the few ventures towards that B bomb that's going to pan out. It's going to lead to a bomb plant as well. Nobody from Tyloo really in a position to do anything about this. They're setting up for exit frags.
I think we talked about this last time, but we'll just I'll just bring it up again.
Reiterate.
It's such a joy watching Forest Orp whenever we get a chance. Like I feel like it happens rarely enough that you feel like you have to sort of...
It's a special treat.
Yeah, you have to enjoy it when it happens. But he is just so good with that weapon.
The only downside that makes it hard for me to enjoy it is the fact that he's so good with rifles as well, right? So
yeah.
It's like, well, he probably could have done that with the rifle too. But yeah, no, it's definitely true. Somebody tries to get sneaky. It's not going to find Lekro. But yeah, it's kind of weird to see how NiP have gone about it, really, when you think about, obviously, they... Well, put Draken on the bench. That's their primary opper gone.
Yeah.
How do they go about it? They do have capable oppers, at least in the secondary role, to work with it. They've already tried out Force as the main opper, but it seems more like it's down to map more than anything else so far here.
It's going to be interesting as well to see, because I got the feeling that Draken was having some consistency issues. It's going to be super fun to see how that works out on another team. Like if it was him as a player or the team as a whole. That like it's impossible to know, right? So we'll just have to see.
A bit more of a sample size.
Yeah, but that's something I'm quite looking forward to, because obviously when he was hitting his shots, it was really fun to see. So I kind of look forward to the next Draken chapter 2 in that sense. Well, somebody playing this. I mean, people play this angle in matchmaking. I really don't like, because it's just so obnoxious.
So just bad people. Bad people. not bad at the game. Just bad people from a moral point of view.
Exactly, immoral.
Exactly. Well, he decided to think that. No, he decided to think the better. He wants to get flashed in here. This might be the perfect timing as well.
Oh, this is going to be down to a couple of seconds, isn't it? One flashbang going deep, one going close. The spray is so good. Somebody taking down a couple of kills, but Force there for the return. Takes Excrit and somebody down, and suddenly AE is alone. How does such a good setup fail that hardly right after the Rez ready for the aggressive push coming in there? Try to see if he could do it. The bomb has been planted, and Forrest covering the angle. He's been on point, and he's going to do it again. The triple. 7-5. Man, they had it all lined up.
Yeah, that was a great A-main push. And I mean, they're even pretty successful with it. They go 2 for 2 initially, but again, it messes up the entire execute for NiP. But Rez being able to find one guy from Squeaky is what loosens the bolts on that A defense. And in addition to that, you have Get in familiar territory behind enemy lines, finding a rotation over from B as well. So I think it was in a matter of 2 seconds, 4 players from Tyloo just evaporate. It's definitely what NiP like to see, and Tyloo on their end, well, they probably would have liked to be without that. Back to Eco once more. We're talking about getting to 6-7 rounds. That would have been great for them, but right now NiP are making it damn hard.
Jump down. Oh, it's always a good idea. It's really well handled by Lekro.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where you very easily end up spending like 3 milliseconds deciding on which target to hit, and then you're
in the middle instead.
Yep. Then you're just done. So
yeah, I think the more likely scenario in those cases is you get 0 to 1 kill if you're Lekro, not both.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways you should. It's probably best if you just consign yourself to the idea that I'm just going to focus on killing the first guy. You know, that's my only job.
That's such a hard thought to put into your head, though.
It's very hard, but I think more. I mean, that's actually something you can practice outside of the game. Like you can remind yourself that, like next time I'm in that situation, I should try and do that. I should try and do that. I should try and do that. And then once you got the kill, you can always, you can always pray that you can adjust, that you didn't take enough damage or whatever. But like the problem is obviously people just go by instinct, and most people's instincts are wrong in that case.
In that sense, we're kind of like T-Rexes. You know what? You go after moving targets. So you just see the initial guy hopping out, but he comes to a standstill afterwards, and there's a new exciting thing popping out around the corner. Right.
One of the players, I think, this is one of the reasons why really early on in his career, I always enjoyed watching Flamey plays, that he just had such an instinct for doing that. Like every single time.
Put on the blinders.
Yeah, just focus on getting that one first kill and always getting that one in. Because you're such a help to your team if you can at least get that one kill in a situation where you otherwise just die. Yeah. It really helps out.
I mean, you know, the worst case scenario, right? You end up shooting in between 2 people. You don't get a single kill. I'm sure you do damage, but like how much is that going to be worth, you know, unless we're talking about an extremely significant amount on both players. And you give up an AK as well. Right? It's terrifying.
What a fight to begin with. Ooh. He almost got caught A. I mean, I don't even know how both of them missed a shot. Get Right wanted to see if he could isolate him and pick him up inside a checkered, but he gets killed instead. And again, Tyloo would just one more round here would really do wonders for them. They've picked up a double up setup as well, and now that they got the opening kill, you got to think that they should be able to find a way to lock this round down. The double up should be powerful at this point in time.
Yeah, and with Excurate in his position right now, it's unlikely for them to think that there's one guy playing by the MBK Ollie corner as well. Bentet playing with fire.
Forrest is not happy.
Taking out his aggression on the smoke grenade. That would actually be a pretty sick feature. Imagine if you could shoot smokes midair to make them blue.
Dude, I wouldn't even want that. Lecro going to be taking a kill on Excurate, and that's a bit of a problem now. It's back on a 4-on-4, somebody pushing through the smoke. Oh, it's so good, taking down all 3 NiP players. And Dennis all alone. He's going to get a good headshot in, and they need to be a bit careful here, looking for more, and he's finally going to be going down to DD. That could have got much more scary, but it will be a 6th round for the Chinese side.
Somebody only functions in one mode, and I love it. Okay, I'm the last player alive on my bomb site. Rotations are still not exactly, and there's a smoke in the way. What do we do?
I know what to do.
Somebody definitely knows what to do. Great pop flash through it to find 3 kills.
He's been watching so many Stewie videos in like 2015 or 16 or something.
He's got a running playlist going. Like every time he goes to bed, puts on his laptop, has it rolling.
Okay, that's very aggressive, Forrest. They're gonna lose DD. Lecro almost went down, so could be a chance here still for a bit of a retake. We've seen Excurate actually do this before, where he pushes up very, very far on that side. Or is it? Who is that? Is it him or is it AE? I'm not sure. It's AE.
I think it's AE, yeah, over toward.
But it has previously it has been Excurate doing this.
Yeah, he did versus VP, and I guess that was the game where AE wasn't able to do anything at all. If he's feeling more confident in his ability, then you have that extra option.
Again, somebody through the smoke, looking to take a fight. He does so much damage. Oh my God! Taking down Forrest. Bentet there with the assist. What a beast. Again, every time there's a smoke, he just challenges it. And Excurate going to be able to pick down Get Right. It's looking much better for Tyloo here. As you said, they only got 5 rounds against Virtus Pro, but it might be a 7th here. Looking very likely. Res, 40 seconds and a 1 versus 4. Bomb drop back here. I mean, there's no way through. He's going to go down. 7-8 in favor of NiP for the first half of the final map. But I think that's a big win coming up here for Tyloo. I think they're going to be happy.
Absolutely so. And if you give somebody some confidence to work with as well,
yeah,
it's great going into the second half. Like things are pointing in Tyloo's way right now. Somebody's sitting at 16 kills. Not half bad.
No, and I mean they're all frustrating kills that are going to leave NiP sort of thinking, come on, man, you know.
Why do you keep doing this?
Why does it keep working? Now let's see. We've talked about NiP in their pistol rounds. They've got USPs. They even have a diffuse kit there on Get Right. See what they can do now.
On Tyloo's end though. Last time they did this boost up into mid as well, but they refused to actually go aggressive with it or show anything at all. Seemingly that's what they want to do again. When they went up against VP on this, I think VP stacked the bomb site, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
So this time not a stack they're going up against, but they are going up against Lecro.
Doors opened, instant death for somebody. Rez now in main. He's taken a long time, too long time to find the shot. He's going to get taken down. And now Get Right. No one else crossing. This is very smart for Tyloo. There's no point in taking any long distance fights right now. You know they have to show up. And again, keep an eye on Get Right. If he goes down in this retake, that kit has got to be salvaged at some point. Otherwise, it's all going to spiral out of control. 2 hiding in the back. Not enough grenades to really dig them out. 1 good flashbang coming. They have another one as well on Bentet. He's actually saved it this whole time. He puts it in, but they're right on top of him. So Forrest going to get the kill. And Excurate coming in, and DD will take down Forrest. A massive round win here for Tyloo. That is going to set them up nicely in this second half.
Yeah, looks like Bentet just gets real caught out position, but the fact that he commits to it and fully goes for the flash throw sets up 2 kills over towards the bomb side as well. So I guess he sacrificed himself for the betterment of the team.
Everything to throw that flashbang in.
Yeah, works out. Tyloo wins the pistol. No, don't run into the stack. They're able to deal with Lekro. Rez is not able to connect the shots. They play that after plan about as safe as you can possibly do.
Yeah, really well done. You see a little bit of frustration there on Dennis.
Not so much on AE.
No, he's loving life.
That's good to see.
Again, as the stand-in, like there's a considerable amount of pressure on you, and I think maybe that's what we were seeing the last time around. This time around, it's been so much better.
Yeah, and it's not just being a stand-in for any team as well, but this is like the big hope for China, and I think it's fair to say for Asian CS as well, as of right now. Sure, we've seen positive signs out of both Vici and MVP, but the one team that constantly, you know, delivers in that sense to our expectations is Tyloo. So taking over for the captain, the by far veteran on that side as well, to come in and you're expected to perform well right off the bat. That's a big task. Yeah. He's doing well for himself for now.
The other Asian team being, of course, Renegades.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, I don't think of them as Asian. Like,
no, listen, I'm just memes. Rez waiting inside a checker, just hoping that someone's going to come barreling through the vent, which is not impossible. And in fact, he's going to get a quick kill, almost a quick double. That was very well done. And Dennis is still hiding inside. In fact, Tyloo attacking the strongest point of the map, and they're getting shut down as a result. 2-on-2. This could go all wrong. They're just going to be able to break their way through. And Forrest is about 3 seconds late to the bomb side. That means the bomb is going to be going down here. Still able to do it maybe with the Deagle. They're ready and waiting for him. Not even afraid, just challenging right in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Did the same thing as, I think it was Sean who pointed this out as well, how coldzera places after plants. Like, almost regardless of the situation, if it's a clutch situation or if it's a 3v3 or what have you, he'll sit on the bomb plant. He'll not move.
Yeah.
He'll just know exactly what you're expecting, because there's so many teams or so many players when they come into an after plant scenario, they're not going to be focused on where they know the default plan is.
No, no.
They're going to expect some change to have happened, and that's when they get cut off.
Yeah, you couldn't understand the logic, even though you wouldn't have thought of it yourself. So. One return kill from Dennis. Never bad when you only have USPs. You always enjoy some of those. He does eat a grenade, and that's the round done in just a few short seconds there.
Love as he switches over to somebody's already holding in mouse one, like way before anyone's reached the car.
This is so ready for it.
It's just so fun to watch.
10-8, and NiP get by.
Yeah.
It's obviously lacking a lot of Molotovs, and even lacking head armor on 2 people. Let's start. They dropped the Mac 10, so that's not a problem.
Tyloo were fairly slow in their approach versus VP as well on their T side. Didn't really rush into this thick of things early on, so they will have the opportunity to soften up any sort of defense from NiP's side, having less utility to fight through. This time, though, they might just go for the sudden push. This is like very French of them. One flash, contact play, out onto favorable trade so far, but Lekro chips in, finds DD. An advantage with NiP right now.
Grenade pushes Lekro out a bit. He's half health. He's still going to get shut down. That was a very aggressive peek coming out there on the other side of the box. And now Rez is going to find himself alone. Somehow Tyloo actually ended up in a 1-on-2. I don't even know how. Taking the fight, and AE will take him down. It's a triple kill here for the stand-in. And again, feeling much more comfortable. Winning and shutting down the first buy round that NiP had is so big. If you want to send the CT side spiraling into essentially sort of a death curve, then this is how you do it.
It's what NiP did to Tyloo on Overpass, right? Remember the B-rush on Overpass? Right after you've won a round, Tyloo feeling like, oh yeah, we might have a shot at getting back into this half. One super quick B-rush, that's the end of it. No chance of Tyloo actually stabilizing their economy and having a fighting chance.
Especially the combination of winning the pistol and winning the 4th round, or the rifle round is so big. When you're on the CT side, that really, really shuts you down.
Now, Deagles to their name. They could do some damage here, but Tyloo have been pretty okay dealing with it, even though they've made it interesting quite a lot of the time. They have been doing a good enough job, at least, to get the rounds on the board. It's dinked through the wall there. It's down to 30 HP. Garrett's actually going to get aggressive here.
Yeah, and the rest are stacked over on this side. So Tyloo walking into a
stack again.
Yeah, there is even armor on two of the people here, so it's actually a bit more dangerous than it maybe seems.
A lot of utility, though, on the side of Tyloo.
Yeah.
So you'd hope that they're going to use their smokes, they're going to use their Molotovs. One Molotov, two. Forrest, in the meantime, though, is able to find the softened up targets.
He's standing on the fire, and I mean, he just keeps trying to peek it. I can't even blame him for it. That probably is the way to do it. Ben 10 with a beautiful flashbang around the corner. They can't see anything at all. It's still a 3-on-3, and somebody's almost out of help. Finally, they get their kills going in the direction. It took a long time. Get right, the only one left in a 1 versus 2. Flashing close, running in, hunting down Didi. Such beautiful play. He almost gets caught out. Could have gone down right then and there. And he wants to turn this around, wants to bring his team back into the game. He's got the AK. He knows that somebody's on that side of the map, and throwing down the pistol, lowering around, and Kenwright going to be able to pick it up, the triple. Oh my God, I wonder if you heard that pistol drop on the ground, if that was enough to make the peak happen. But NiP, the stack, and then the flank in from Get Right, and they're going to be able to win the round.
Oh, that's... I was about to say, once again, Tyloo able to scrape by, but Get Right with an amazing 1v3 clutch to bring NiP back into it. Again, that's a round they have no business of winning normally. Just such a good job, just pouncing on the tiny window that he has to actually make that happen. It's exactly what you like to see coming out of Get Right. And you can see the disappointment on Tyloo, yeah.
Yeah, losing 1 versus 3s is never a fun time.
Wow.
And I think Didi got stabbed in the beginning of this round, so.
Oof. Well,
it's just 8 health.
It's not the oh, nice shot from Excurate as well. Lekro with a bit of a, I want to say half-ass jumped. It's
yeah,
not like,
just...
it's like, I'm just going to show myself. I'm not going to get much for it. And I'm not going to have the speed to move back either.
Not feeling super agile, just kind of like, you know.
It's like the day post-workout kind of feeling.
Yeah, yesterday was leg day, so he's like,
yeah.
Can't really do it.
Gotten out of bed, that's all you can ask. So that's an early opening for Tyloo. I'm going to be happy about that. Maybe they can right their wrongs and actually send NiP back to an eco once more. Dennis has an op in his hands. Pretty standard mid-pick coming in from Tyloo here. Molotovs for sandbags and vents. Just going to make it pretty easy for AE to walk out. They're right. Actually going yeah. Wins the fight. Needs to go aggressive, but Forrest returns quickly. Has given enough space for somebody to get out on the A bomb site, though.
Can they make anything off this? He hasn't got the bomb, so he kind of needs to create more of an opening, or at least defend while the bomb is being planted. Bit of a peek there. The smoke's hiding. He's actually going inside it. He does this all of the time, and he's had a massive success rate playing inside the smokes. He's going to take down Dennis, and what a shock it must be as well. 2-on-2, and with the bomb down, if they win this round, Tyloo, that might just be too much for NiP, I think. They've just finally got back into winning. They got that 1 versus 3 from Get Right, but they need to keep it going. Rez is going to go for the spray and taking down somebody now. They just have to deal with Excurate. He's going to pick up 1 kill on Forrest, and the pistol's out. He knows he's, oh, it's so good. Taking it down, the triple kill, and now Tyloo are way in the lead.
Wow, that is really impressive. And again, we saw this on the first day of play as well. Even though we've had worries about the communication between Tyloo, obviously, 2 players speaking Indonesian, not being fluent in Chinese, some of the information having to be relayed in English, which none of them are necessarily fluent in. They've been really good at actually being able to to pass on the information that players in clutch situations are either full HP or low HP. So, and that makes a massive difference, because Excurate is going to get 1 shot if he goes into that with an op. He has 1 shot, and he probably dies if he misses that. But with a PT-50, you have so many more opportunities to just fire off shots, and you just need to connect with 1 bullet.
Yeah, it's a very, very good selection there. That's a crazy game, or crazy round there for Tyloo to be winning. It's kind of like all those Molotovs they throw in the middle, it's almost a little bit sad that they actually lose as hard as they did in the middle to Get Right and Forrest, because even though nobody was in the vents and nobody was by sandbags, the whole idea of throwing those Molotovs is even if no one is there, it's a bunch of positions you don't have to check, so you can worry about the sugar cube and middle, and those are the positions that they lose from. So like you've already made sure you don't have to look anywhere else. So why aren't you, your crossfire should just be right there anyway. So that was a bit silly, but
they bring it back though. I guess it did create a pretty significant rotation, so I guess cause and effect in that sense.
Yes, there was an upside to that defeat, I suppose.
It's all about winning the war, not the battle.
People have said that many times.
For now, though. New look on Tyloo's default here. It's going to be execute towards B. Normally, that's just been, well, DD and AE just kind of hanging out over here, not really doing any much. They've never tried to instigate any sort of aggression towards the B bomb site. Didn't really do so much either versus BP. Might be a bit of a change of pace in that sense. Could be a B split that we're looking at actually as well. And I think right now, if you're Tyloo, you have to be worried about running into stacks. You've done it on all of your anti-ecos, and you've done it off the back that you don't get map control, and you don't poke and prod around towards the edges of the map before you actually come into the bomb site. This time,
such a big win. Taking down Rez this early on in the forest. Oh my God, if he had more bullets, that would have been devastating. He's so good with that pistol. Taking down a quick double. DD in with the spray, though, and I think that should seal the round. Get right. Does have armor and an M4, but how do you make it out alone here with no grenades either? No defuse kits. You've got to eventually make a move, and they pretty much know where you are. They should just be able to set up a crossfire that realistically he can't really break. Like, it's very unlikely that you can make this work unless they make a big mistake. He's trying to see if he can sneak on in. He's worried about pretty much every angle, and yeah, I mean, this wasn't really Get Right's fault, but it's going to be Tyloo winning the round regardless. They'll take that all of the time, and yeah, that's a big win. 13-9 puts NiP back in a position without any rifles. They are so close to making the semis.
It makes me still super uneasy to see Tyloo play these anti-ecos. I mean, they're so close to having it all fall apart. As you said, Forrest, he's feeling like a couple more. If he doesn't start reloading there, he can turn around, swing on the player wrapping around. And all of a sudden, it's just a complete mess. DD doesn't get that aggressive positioning towards spawn to find 2 kills. And where do you go from there?
And that's, you have to appreciate we're getting the entertainment value out of it. You know, it's exciting.
Gonna have a field day potentially. No, it's gonna be somebody to find the kills. Bentet finds Get Right on the opposite side of the map as well, so they have information as to where the last 2 remaining NiP players are, and well, information decay is not going to be an issue in this scenario.
No, not at all. They're going to be fine with just putting down the bomb in the B bomb site, but that little skirmish for NiP obviously much more successful than you would have liked. Usually when you've got like 2 or 3 people in the main like that, somebody has the job of sort of staying turned around so they don't get flashed, and usually that person can pick up a couple of kills quickly. But it could have maybe gone worse. Ultimately, I think NiP are thinking if we can hold on to these AKs, we can secure another buy and a half somewhere down the stretch and make sure that we do. Because obviously, the one way you're certain to lose this game if you're NiP is obviously if you just run out of money. So you want to make sure that you can keep that afloat right now. It will be round number 14 on the board for Tyloo. They're 2 rounds away from making the semifinals, and I mean, for them, that would be historic.
Yeah. Definitely would be, and you're not doing it, you know, going the easy route, taking out a big scalp and NiP.
Yeah,
on the way to it, and I think you know, depending on who they play in a potential semifinals, I mean, I think the only team they'd probably want to avoid is Na'Vi, and they've already like I think they're pretty much safe to not do that. I think they're going to go up against Virtus Pro. If that is the case. Right. So
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it, Van.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Nonetheless, though, it should make for an incredible semifinals. But Tyloo, they need to close it out. They were in a similar scenario versus VP2, and they managed to not capitalize on that. So there's still chances for the Swedish squad here.
Oh,
set to fall off it?
Yeah,
didn't really seem like Rez even tried to.
They might have made too much noise. I think DD actually heard. I think that's the reason why he's standing so far under the window. Might be a little bit worried that there was a stack going on.
I guess it was weird. Rez gets on top of his head and there's like, wait, bail out.
Yeah.
Well,
see what NiP have to say about this whole situation. They are a little bit behind at 5 rounds. The money's not looking good. They haven't really. I mean, again, partly losing the pistol and the first rifle round, it just has such a devastating impact on how you can play the CT side. So. Not to make any excuses for them, but they've been in a position where so much of the time they've just had much less of the kind of economy that you want to be able to buy all the rifles and everything else. And yet it's been super, like some of these rounds have been so close.
Oh, it's been on a been very much on an edge the entire time. I mean, Tyloo had the benefit of starting off both halves in nice fashion with winning pistols, right?
Yep.
Goes a long way.
Counter grenade coming out from Dennis, trying to make sure that no one uses forklift for anything. Vexpro, I think, getting one. They'll actually get right the one to pick up a couple there, and Dennis will help out. So all working out fantastically on this bomb side. DD will get a couple of kills for free. Dennis and Lekro not able to find really good positions in that scenario. Get right, going to get one more kill, so that's all great. Triple for him right now. And he's going to go down to Excurate. This is the one player that you really want left if you're Tyloo right now. He's just a beast with the AWP, and he's going to get one more shot, turning around and reading where Forrest is coming from. Could really close it out. He hasn't seen Forrest yet. He almost did. It was nearly the perfect timing. But Forrest is hiding and hoping that he can sneak in at the right time. And so far, none of the peaks here have given Excurate any information to work with. Forrest now turning around. He's going to get the kill. Another 1 versus 3. A quick fist in the air as he brings Tyloo to map and series point. This guy is a superstar.
He can do it all, seemingly. Another clutch round to bring in a massive round for Tyloo. Map point. Surely this has to be enough of a wiggle room for the Chinese team to close it out.
Yeah, I think that now we're talking such a big lead. Again, the NiP economy, unfortunately, is just really broken.
Yeah, love to see the confidence on Excurate as well.
They're just so excited right now, aren't they? The crowd is loving it here in Shanghai. Everything is popping off at the moment, and now let's see what they can do. Rest on top of the box for the FAMAS, but if you look all across the board on the NiP side, they don't have very much to work with at all. We could very well see a Chinese team go into the semifinals here, and again, for the region and for this team especially, that would really be something. Forrest getting shot at the back, be able to take him down. Rest winning a single fight, and if he kept peeking, he could know this, but there was another flash player there. Get right, going to get down, although there is a team kill in there. Bentet getting so excited about the prospect. He ends up taking down his countryman. It's now Dennis and Lekro left. 2 versus 3, and Lekro flashed in. They just have to do something at this point. They need to get on the site, but somebody's going to take a kill, and that's it. 69 as Tyloo take down NiP and make it to the semifinals. What a story, and what a historic victory as well here for Tyloo.
I can definitely feel it with the crowd as well.
Yeah.
They're getting into it, and for good reason. Tyloo, that's a bit of a notch in their belt.
Absolutely, and again, especially for the Chinese region, that's such a big win. You've got to think there are going to be a lot of people. There are already so many fans here. Actually, when we drove in this morning, there were fans sort of,
hounding the buses.
Yeah, like, banging their hands on the windows, screaming their names. So there are definitely fans here that are super excited to see them play this well. What a win.
What a win indeed. And, that off the back of, a really rough overpass, right? They start off so well, eke out a win on Inferno, get absolutely crumbled on overpass. And we talk about how, newer teams don't necessarily deal with those kind of losses too well. So going into third map, resetting yourself completely, massive, massive job from Tyloo.
Really, really amazing. That's so exciting. Hope you guys on the desk are excited as well. Paul, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, fantastic for Chinese Dota, fantastic for Asia Dota as well. Could they do it on a big stage? That was one of the questions that we asked earlier on. Confirmed, Tyloo can do it on a big stage, and they can do it in style. A 2-1 victory over NiP. We'll see them make it through to the semi-finals, as well as see some of those players later on in the All-Stars game. So they've got plenty of stage time over the next 2 days, and the crowd, as you can probably hear in the background, are very happy about that. 2 men will break things down from this series and look ahead to the next one. Back at the panel with me, Natu and Soren Duncan. Yeah, what can you say about that performance? Because it was a good performance, especially second half.
Inspired, I would say, because the thing about the way this game went was there clearly wasn't like a set formula or a plan. I mean, I remember one round particularly, they actually played super passive off all the sites. One guy, the guy who's supposed to be playing mid, was playing in CT spawn without having seen anyone from the T side. And so, unsurprisingly, when the terrorists pushed out through T mid and thought, well, I'll have a look with it, there was just a guy in spawn who killed him. So, bizarre stuff. But then they would alternate it up, and suddenly you'd have loads of aggression everywhere. Somebody was pushing into the A main all the time. So, this is why I say inspired. Like, it just felt like, for whatever reason, they were just in the floor. By the end of the game, considering early on in the game, actually the key clutches they lost. By the end, they couldn't lose a clutch. It's like seemingly everything was going their way. you could see NiP was actually getting a bit deflated, you know. They were getting into good situations. They weren't able to close the rounds.
That was a fantastic clutch.
That was
as
a
well
very
by
good one,
Necros.
yes.
Yeah, one on 3 as well, so that was fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like that half could have actually been a bit bigger for Tyloo had Lekro not being able to win that clutch, honestly. I think that passiveness that Duncan is talking about is due to the fact that a lot of the rounds, again, similar to Overpass, NiP was managing to get man advantages early on in the rounds as the aim duels were taking place in mid. So they did a bit of an adjustment. The only really part that wasn't working so well for NiP in the early rounds and the slow rounds was that they were trying to take the B vent room control, and too many times they lost the member and then kind of had to readjust the whole approach to the round, because once you do get that vent control, that gives you so much of the map control. It makes it so much easier for you to make decisions afterwards. But as we said, just the clutch factor for Tyloo has been immense here. Again, X-Accurate comes in massive in the later stages. Somebody, yeah, he had 2 clutches he lost, but this one here, very, very key. The X-Accurate actually overextending an A main, going for a peak at 50 seconds left doesn't really make sense. But somebody coming through the smoke, taking that risk, getting those 3 kills were very pivotal and help Tyloo take this one.
And the thing is, you can see by the way he moves, I haven't looked this up, but you can just see by the way he moves, he has a really high sensitivity, but he's so fabulous with it. And as a result, when he locks onto you, you're just dead at that point in time. So it's like a really addictive style to watch, because when he's in his zone, I mean, you saw a number of times where people tried to quick peek a box, but that's the advantage of having a super high sensitivity. He's faster than everyone.
Brilliant play by Get Right here as well. Couple
this
of
was a big
fantastic
one,
entry kills.
Also mention worthy is in that when somebody in one of those clutches, again, it was a 2-on-4 situation for Tyloo as well. A push coming in, NiP managing to fend off the attack very, very well, but still they just seemed like what happened there, it was just really one by one, giving Tyloo all the aim duels individually, not able to refract whatsoever, and that's not something you're used to seeing from a team like NiP.
Yeah, some fantastic.
And if you think about it here, you can go ahead and add in that this is now, they've beaten Na'Vi, full Na'Vi line on LAN in Kiev of all places, and they've beaten the real NiP new lineup, all with a stand-in. Like, and these are all best of 3 series as well, Paul. These aren't like best of 1s and you get the good map for you. They're playing full best of 3s against these teams.
I was saying, what is up with his flicker, by the way? That flicker on the screen would drive me crazy. Like, how hard is that flickering?
It would make you blind, Paul.
Probably would. Congratulations to Tyloo. As you can see, NiP not very happy at all after that, and as well they shouldn't be. Lots of headaches for them. I know it's a relatively new lineup still, and they're going to work on stuff, but still. Actually, do you know what? Hold that thought, because apparently we've got an interview ready with Ben Tet right now. Ben Tet.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. Well done. Congratulations on that. That must feel really good.
Yep, thank you very much.
How is it playing out in front of that big crowd cheering on everything that you guys do at Tyloo?
I think it's really helped it's really helped us, because the crowd cheering for us, like our motivation, our minds like really excited to play, because the crowd keeps cheering us even when we lose, they keep cheers us. So finally we take down NiP 2-1. We never win against NiP. This is the first time, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, well done. This X-Curate guy you've got, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I know I think he lack of experience quite a bit, but so far he learning every day. Every day I give him opinion to find a good position, like another upper, like Guardian. So, but sometimes he like to find a good kill. Like he's not. I mean, what I'm trying to say, he's inconsistent, but by far this his best performance.
Yeah, he's been playing brilliantly over the last few days. I've got Thorin and Natu here. I'm sure they've got a question or two for him.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So after the IM Sydney tournament where you did really well, you finished top 4, you couldn't use your real lineup at the Star Series, and at this tournament you had to bring AE in. Now, normally when teams have a stand-in, they kind of feel like, oh, we can't do as well in the tournament, we don't have our real team. But you've had these big upsets. You beat Na'Vi in Star Series, now you beat NiP here. How is the team so good even though you've got a stand-in?
Personally, I don't think the team is really good, because when we practice,
NiP might disagree.
I mean, when we practice, we lack so much like individual movement or teamwork. Sometimes someone forget our tactic, like DD and AE. So I just make the new easy call, like no same with Captain Mo, but it's more easier for AE to adapt with us, even though he struggle a little bit. But I'm trying to give him the best position every day. I talk to him because this team with AE kind of little bit struggle because he's a main opper actually, but he forced to play rifle in Tyloo in T side, but in CT side he can play opper. So yeah, we just play a more easy call, not like before with Mo.
Talk me through late round and mid round situations in your gameplay as a team, because to me, when I'm looking at it, it looks a little bit chaotic, sometimes erratic. Like, it doesn't feel like you don't necessarily always seem to be playing well enough as a team, if I will. Do you feel it's because of the language things you have going on, or is it just a lack of playing together enough?
Yeah, I think what one point you say about the language, I think it's right, because before Get Right have clutch 3v1, I say to DD, somebody is 1 HP, but I don't think he understand my. I don't think he focused that time. Like, Tyloo players is really aggressive. They want to take a fight.
They are.
Yeah. So I just that 3v1 really hound me, because I say somebody side low. You guys no need to pick. First time AE die, and then DD. I know DD want to pick, but
I learned that much as well.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this then? So normally when we do interviews with Asian players, they try to be really respectful and very polite, and they always say like, "Oh, we'll try very hard in this next game, but whoever's the better team will win." If you win this match, you're just going to win the tournament, right? Come on.
What do you mean, against NiP?
Yeah. No, you're going to win the tournament, right? You're confident. You're going to take everyone out.
I think we need to stay humble.
Hanson,
Okay.
don't take the bait, Hanson. Don't take the bait from him.
I got you, Thorin.
This is classic Thorin bait. Don't take it.
Checking.
Trust me on this. Stay with me. What is true, though, is you've got Virtus Pro next. Now, some people would say that NiP is a harder match than Virtus Pro. Now, you have a genuine chance of getting to the grand final here.
Yeah, of course, every team have a chance, even though the enemy is above us, and we win NiP. So, and before we play Virtus Pro, we lost 2-1, and it's a really close game. So I think we have a chance to win Virtus Pro and go to the final.
All right. Well, congratulations today. Enjoy it. We'll also see you back a little bit later on as well, because you're going to be playing in the All-Star game. So good luck in that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Congratulations to Tyloo as well.
Almost got
brilliant.
him.
Yeah, see, I had to jump in and save the poor guy. You're trying to bait out Bentet here.
Why not? He's actually not from China, but home crowds, just won a game, just go crazy.
Yeah.
Just say like, Virtus Pro, they're garbage. I'll trash them. I'll see him after the game. I'll give him a bit of coaching when they come up for the final.
Bit of Thorin, special Thorin coaching.
I just want to highlight, what Bentet was saying there. DD wants to play aggressive.
On
Man,
1 HP.
It's mind-boggling to me to see. But I'll paint a picture. It's a 3-on-3 situation. B bomb site. The opposing team is on a force buy or a half buy. The game is on the line essentially. They get the B bomb site. What does it do? What would anyone do in that situation? You wouldn't probably go aggressive trying to peek, right? Well, what does it do? It's going to go down through the lower towards CT spawn. He sees 3 players. He could have easily got one shot and died there, given an AK-47, make it a 2-on-3, the NiP guys are capable of winning those kind of rounds.
Yep.
He luckily does get a double headshot, one burst, effectively winning the round for his team. But these are the kind of moves that you just don't do. It pisses me off. Like, why would you take that risk? It just doesn't make sense
When
at
he
all.
said, though,
However,
that it was a communication problem, I actually really, because obviously it was his teammate that had 1 health. I thought it's because he's gone, someone's got 1 HP, and he goes, oh, cool, I'm going to get this kill. He thinks it's the enemy,
Look at
doesn't
my
he?
stats.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for 3 days, Duncan, for that pun to come out.
Delivered it
and
with
you
some quality,
did deliver it
yeah,
with top
not bad.
quality punning. MVP for this game, Natsu?
Come on, man.
I mean, somebody had
be, right?
massive clutches, so you got to pick him, right? So, yeah, definitely. I mean, X-Accurate also had some big kills, too.
Yep.
But if I had to choose somebody.
Okay. Somebody MVP for this one. Who's the best player of the series, do you think? Is it X-Accurate, though, because of the the shifts he's put in on the previous 2 games?
I'm trying to think, who did we give the MVP to for the last? I think it might be somebody who gave it to the last time, didn't we?
I think X
Listen,
got it on
I'm
one.
running on
Right,
fumes
okay.
here, so I'm not sure.
That's the problem, is because the first map was the one where it was so back and forwards on that one. I feel like this wasn't one where there was a clear... We can give it to somebody if we want, because he was so memorable on this map, but I actually felt like that was what was impressive. I mean, even the stand-in guy had some pretty good games, you know. It wasn't like the Virtus Pro Series where he was like lagging behind and you kind of had to carry him. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I say it's an inspired performance. So many players were just... Everything went right for them pretty much.
Yeah, and they absolutely do have a chance in the semi-finals against Virtus Pro now.
100% too, yeah. I mean, they're very fiery. They just the clutch ability is just insane. I mean, these guys are firing all cylinders right now. And as long as they can keep their cool and play tactically correct as they have for a lot of the time, yes, they do have a chance. But if they keep overextending as well, if they keep taking those unnecessary peaks, you know, in those 3-on-3 situations when the games are on the line, I feel like, you know, that's going to catch them at some point in time. So they got to make sure that they choose wisely when they take their duels.
Indeed they do. Right, it's break time for us here in Shanghai. Thank you for tuning in to the CSGO Asia Championships. But we're not done yet today. We've got another 2 series ahead of us. Of course, the All-Star thing will finish us off for this evening. But next up, it's Heroic versus Envious in a best of 3 for a place in the semi-final. We'll see you shortly.
大家好，欢迎来到 CAC 的小游戏环节。我们今天要玩的是一个电击器。那 FPS 选手也是以反应著称的。那我们希望通过这个游戏，能够了解到究竟哪位选手的反应是最快的呢？那在我前面的这边也是一些 MVP 队员，他们即将要玩的是一个小电击游戏。3, 2, 1。
一回台湾のテーマで。なんだ。うわ。我就知道这个是啥。
2,000 years later.
We 再次淘汰一名选手。We have a winner, yes. 我跟你讲，哦，那这边也是恭喜白菜获得队内的反应王。Would you like to say something? How do you feel? Good?
Yes, good.
Easy. Easiest game of your life.
Yeah.